Him to speak today. He's a graduate from Shaw High School. He earned a bachelor's degree in marketing from Auburn University. In 2012, he earned his master's in business administration from the University of Phoenix. He is the co-host Football Nightly Down South, which airs on CW, Go Bama. He is the creator of the community event A Greater You. He is also the co-founder of Image, which stands for Imagine Making a Guy Empowered. He enjoys spending time with his family, coaching youth sports, and motivating people. He is a member of Spirit-Filled Ministries, and he believes that every individual can achieve greatness. Please give a warm welcome to Mr. Rivers.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. She said, go Bama. I almost walked out because I'm an Auburn grad, so we say War Eagle where I'm from, okay? So we'll just discard that, okay? Do me a favor. Everybody in here, close your eyes with me. Just close your eyes with me. And take a deep breath. And as your eyes are closed, I want you to picture something. I want you to picture the time in your life when life happened. I want you to think about that instant or those instances where you felt as if life was over, where you thought you couldn't move forward, where there were so many obstacles in your way that you just did not have the strength to move on. Think about the tribulations. Think about the adversity. Think about the hardships. Think about the lack of opportunity you may have had, the lack of funding you may have had, the lack of love that you may have had from other people, or most importantly, the lack of love that you may have had from yourself. When it seemed like all was lost, when it seemed like there was no light at the end of the tunnel, when it seemed like darkness surrounded you at every turn and you just could not make your way to the end, to your victory. Can you see it? Can you remember how it made you feel? The desperation, the hurt, the anguish. And as that moment sits in your mind, heavy on your heart, I want you to open your eyes. And I want you to realize that you made it. Whatever that obstacle was, whatever that hardship was, whatever that situation was that was not advantageous for your growth as an individual, I want you to know that you are not a victim. You are now a victor. I see the tears in your eyes, and I know they're tears of joy because you've come through a lot. And I commend you for it. Because life happens. Life happened to me when I was 2, 3 years old, being abandoned by my father. Life happened. Life happened to me when I was 5 years old, being abused sexually. Life happens. And for a long time in life, I looked at myself as a victim. But as I moved forward, and as I moved forward to the calling that God had for me, as I walked into my purpose, as I understood that there was greatness inside of me, the same way that there's greatness inside of you, rather than being a victim, I became a victor. And I stepped into my purpose full throttle. And I commend you on that. But like you heard earlier, it isn't over. This is just step one. And that should be exciting because there are so many more steps, so many more accomplishments, so many more opportunities for you to be great that lie ahead, even if you can't see them. Because I don't want you to walk in the natural sight. I want you to walk in the spiritual and an emotional sight. And even if it hasn't happened yet, that doesn't mean that it won't happen. It simply hasn't manifested itself. And there are many selves that you should have in this lifetime. Many selves. One self is self-discipline. You have to have self-discipline. You have to be able to know when to say good to the no so you can say yes to the great. You have to have self-discipline so you can understand when to say no to an individual whom you've grown up with your entire life, whom you love like a brother or a sister, who may be your brother or your sister, who may be your father or your mother, and they're not on top of their game to try to help you move forward into your greatness. You have to be disciplined enough to say, yes, I love you, but no, I will not let you hold me back. You have to have self-love. If you do not believe in yourself, regardless of the skill set that you've acquired, regardless of the way that you've raised your acumen, regardless of the situation that you have encountered, if you do not have self-love, you will not move forward. Believe in yourself. You are destined for greatness. You're destined for much more than greatness. You were born to be extraordinary. Because when you have an extraordinary mindset, you will then have extraordinary thoughts. And your extraordinary thoughts will then turn into extraordinary actions. And your extraordinary actions will lead to extraordinary results. And then your extraordinary results will lead to an extraordinary lifestyle. Self-love is something that you have to have. Self-accountability is another thing. Stop going around blaming other people for your problems, because your circumstances in life do not dictate where you end up. It is your decisions in life that dictate where you end up. It is not your job to try and control life circumstances. You can't do it. You weren't made to do it. But it is your job to not let life's circumstances control you. Step into your purpose and be accountable, because it wasn't the decision that somebody else made for you. It was the decision that you made for yourself. Because if you don't foster a culture of greatness, if you don't foster a culture of a work ethic, if you don't foster a culture of cherishing the process rather than the prize, and you let somebody else do it for you, you have no right to be upset, because you didn't set the tone in your own right. So if you don't develop the way you want your life to live, you cannot get upset when somebody else develops it for you. Because if you don't do it, somebody will do it for you. So you have to have self-discipline. You must have self-love. You have to have self-accountability. But the one self that you never need to allow into your life is self-pity. I never saw a wild thing sorry for itself. A small bird will drop frozen dead from a bough without ever having felt sorry for itself. Yes, life will happen. Yes, life happened to me at a very young age. Feeling sorry for yourself holds you back. That is an anchor in the story of life that holds so much weight, because you never want to let it go. So as you stand here right now, you think about those situations and those people that have hurt you, that have done you wrong. I want you right now in your heart to say, I forgive you and I still love you. Because once you forgive and let go of that past hurt, that anchor starts to move forward and you can fly like that small bird. But not only that, you will become a great bird with wings that can soar anywhere you want to go in life. There are no limits in your life except the ones that you place on yourself. You have to live your life without limits. And to go along with self-love, you have to be passionate, regardless of what anybody else says. Because again, some people may not know your dreams exist because they don't know the passion that you have. But true vision, everybody, is not seen with your sight. It is seen with passion. Just because somebody can't see your pot at the end of that rainbow doesn't mean it doesn't exist. If they call you crazy, say thank you. Because I'm crazy about my dreams. I'm crazy about my goals. But I'd be even more crazy if I let you tell me I couldn't accomplish them. All of you in here have had ideas in your lifetime. I know you have. And I know all of you have had ideas that you let slip by the wayside. You said, I don't think that's a good idea, or I've never seen anybody do it before, so you didn't jump out there. But in order to be successful, you have to move forward and make your move. Because an idea without action is simply a dream. But an idea with action can be a dream come true. You have the right and the opportunity to live your dream. Live it. Don't let anybody take your dreams from you, because they are attainable. The same amount of time you take to build small goals can be the same amount of time you take to build big goals. Les Brown is one of my favorite motivational speakers ever. I listen to him all the time. Yes, I study. I have to do my research as well. This is what I do, but I still have to study, because success leaves clues. And Les Brown said, it is not people who are unsuccessful that aim too high and miss. It is people become unsuccessful because they aim too low and they hit. They lower their goals so they can hit their goals, yet they don't understand that they're holding themselves back every day of their lives. And see, the worst thing, I'm telling you, is not being afraid of failure. That's not the worst thing in the world. Let me tell you guys that the worst thing in the world is being afraid to succeed. Because our greatest fear is not that we are inadequate, but that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that frightens us. Think about that. It is the light that shines within you. It is the light that stands on top of the hill. It is the light of this world which you are. You are the light of this world and the salt of this earth. But because your light you're fearful of that light, you want to step into your purpose because you know that to whom much is given, much is required. Because you know if you let your light shine, you're going to have a following of people who want to go behind you and do everything you did because they see you. They understand that the problems you were able to overcome were solutions to them. But you playing small, or you trying to be less than who you are to make somebody else feel comfortable is of no significance to anybody. Because when you let your light shine, when you step into the person, into your purpose that God has called you to be, when you are that extraordinary individual, you unconsciously give people permission to shine too. And that is how you change this world. You going through this training and stepping into the next stage of your life is how you change this world. You are life changers. And I don't want you to just be alive. I want you to live life to its fullest and continue to change the world because you are continuing to change yourself every day. And it is so very important to understand that everything that comes out of your mouth will come to fruition. It will come to pass. So when you open your mouth, make sure everything that comes out of your mouth is of quality. I'll tell you a story about a young boy and his father. This young boy had a very bad temper. I'm not talking about me, okay? This young boy had a very bad temper. And his father said, listen, son, I've got a fence outside that I'm building, and I've got a bag of nails. And every time you lose your temper, and every time you say something that is not edifying or not encouraging or not of life to somebody else, you have to hammer a nail into that fence. He said, okay, Dad. So in 2 weeks, this young man had hammered 37 nails into that fence. Think about 37 comments that you make to somebody that are negative. Think about how that can tear somebody up from the inside. Think about negative comments that have been said to you in life and think about how it made you feel. Think about the things that you did not do because somebody told you that you weren't smart enough or you were too old. Or do you know where you came from in life? I want you to think about how those comments made you feel. Those were not quality comments. And because they were not quality, they did not permeate into quality results for you. And as that young man nailed those 37 nails, he looked at the board one day, he says, I have to change. I have to do better. And his father told me, every time you make a positive comment about somebody, you don't lose your temper, you get to take a nail out. So for the next 2 weeks, he completely flipped, and everything he said was positive. And now those nails were removed from that fence, and he was very happy. But his father said, I'm proud of you, son. You haven't lost your temper, but I want you to remember something. Look at this fence. The nails are gone, but the holes are still there. Everything you say to somebody else that is not life-giving, that is not edifying, that is not of good report, that is not mighty, that is not positive, leaves a hole in their heart. Leaves a hole in their psyche, leaves a hole in their ability to build their dreams. And I don't want you to be a weapon that tears down somebody. I want you to be a weapon that builds somebody up. Be a weapon of mass construction. Build your goals. Celebrate other people and help them build their goals as well. Quality speech is life-affirming and it is life-giving. And without it, we will be nowhere. It doesn't take much to tell somebody I love you. It doesn't take much to tell somebody congratulations. I love seeing the tears that flow from your eyes because I know you're proud of everything that you've accomplished. It's not hard to tell somebody you are fearfully and wonderfully made. You have been blessed with all spiritual blessings in heavenly places. It does not take anything to do that but the desire inside of you to be better, but most importantly, to make somebody else better. Because your goal should be to leave a situation better when you leave than it was when you got there. That is the definition of leaving your mark. So as you walk out of here today, I want you to remember 3 words. Leave your mark. Yes, life will hit you in the face. Yes, life will be turbulent. Yes, life will be full of storms. You haven't been promised a life free from storms, but you've been promised a life proof from storms. Because no weapon formed against you shall prosper. That is the truth. And you have to believe the truth. And I want you to realize that you have to be leaders, not only in this room, not only in your household, but in this community. Because this community right now has great leaders that nobody knows about. But you know the great thing about a leader? I don't need your attention. I don't need your accolades. I just need the opportunity to serve and be a leader, because true leaders are all about servant leadership. They're not all about himself or herself. They're about serving others. And let me tell you something. You don't have to have a title. You don't have to have a badge. You don't have to have a corner office with a window that's looking on the beach. You see I'm picturing what I want right now, but you don't have to have that to be a leader. You don't have to have that to be a leader, because a leader is not official in his or her title. A leader is official in his or her actions, in his or her desire to change this world and this community. So I want you to lead from within, because I want you to remember something. If you are not passionate within, you will continue to be without. You will continue to be without hope. You will continue to be without aspiration. You will continue to be without the success that is birthed in you from the time that you stepped onto this earth. It is there. You have everything that you need inside of you to be great. You are the vehicle that you need to get to where you need to be. You are the vehicle. And you are loved. You are favored. You are extraordinary. And as I close, I just want you guys to remember one thing. You have not been given a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. And with power, you can lift any dream. With love, you can accept any circumstance. And with a sound mind, you can create any opportunity. Make your move in this world. Love yourself and fly, because everything you have is just one step away. And I can't wait to see the greatness that exudes from everybody in here, because you are extraordinary. My name is Jonathan Rivers. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you.